My brother was sitting by the window with 3 friends. I was sitting at the next table.
I was sitting with my friends eating lunch, I think talking about the piece of shrapnel that we had collected.
All of a sudden, the children in the dining hall heard the sound of an aircraft outside the window.
I heard the very loud noise of a low-flying plane. So I got up and I had a look, and honestly, I could see this plane so low, I could see the pilot's goggles.
Thinking it was a British plane, the children rushed to the window to wave.
We all looked out the window and then suddenly saw the black cross, but the pilot was waving to us. I know that sounds ludicrous to say today, but he did wave to us, and as he waved, we realised, and up went the call, Germans, under the table.
Do you know when teachers tell you what to do something, screamed at us all to get under the tables?
Then there was a crash as the bomb hit the roof. It had a 5-second delay so that it penetrated before exploding.
I saw the walls start to fall, so I got up from under the table and I ran as fast as I could.
Lots of the children started to run for the door, my brother amongst them. I called him, who turned round, and I never saw him again.
A bomb, dropped from a German aircraft, had scored a direct hit on the school and then exploded inside. The floors above the packed dining room collapsed straight onto the children below, trapping them under an enormous pile of rubble.
But I was laying there and I heard crying and realised I was crying as well and saying, please get me out, because I couldn't see and I couldn't move.
I had no feeling of pain. It was silence, as if I was the only one in the building.
People nearby rushed to the scene to help. Among the rescuers was Reg Wolfe, a volunteer air raid warden.
It was a shock when I saw the big lump out the school with a load of people on it, digging. The whole place was swarming with people, like ants over an anthill.
I could just see little bits of light. And the next thing I remember was the rescue workers. It was 2 men and they were pulling the bricks away from me.
The quicker you could flatten the rubble, the quicker you could get anybody that was still around, still alive.
And then somebody moved a brick. And that feeling of air, I can't really describe it to you, but it's a feeling that you never, ever forget. It's just that, it's like opening a window and getting that gush of air come to your face when you haven't been able to breathe.
The rescue efforts continued for 2 days, and the brutal raid became national news.
This was the London school in which there were 150 children when it was hit by a high-explosive bomb. It shows how Germans always run true to their brutal form. You might have thought that hitting a children's school could be an accident that even Nazis would regret. But the raiders' leader was Captain Schumann, who subsequently broadcast proudly that all his planes reached their objectives and dropped their bombs just where they wanted them to fall. In case you didn't know, it's that kind of enemy we're up against.